I have $200,000 worth of student debt and I'm pretty ashamed of it. But here's the real tragedy. I got a full scholarship to college. My student debt came from graduate school and a certificate I earned after graduate school. If I'm being honest, I really regret it. I regret going to graduate school when I did, and I regret paying out of pocket for it myself. When I graduated from college, I was 21 years old, and I did the thing that I thought was best. I decided to go to graduate school because that's what most members of my family did. They went to graduate school, and so in following in many of their footsteps, I went to pursue my master's degree. Making this decision to go to graduate school, I listened to what some of my family members were talking about when it comes to earning potential. It was pretty much drilled into me that if I wanted my earning potential to match my white counterparts, that I would have to have a graduate degree. A graduate degree was simply not optional. As a Black woman without a backup plan, I thought that I was securing my financial future by investing in my education. When I say without a backup plan, what I specifically mean is I just couldn't move home with my parents. That was not an option available to me because of my circumstances. Some of the
Quick PSA for anyone that has student loans. Don't let student loans dictate your future and your happiness. I was $60,000 in debt, private loans, $30,000 in debt, federal loans, and I got my private loans disputed. I had lawyers work on them for about 6 to 7 years. They got canceled, but I still have to pay taxes on them. And
So I'm in $140,000 of debt right now. $133,000 is student loans, and I told myself I'm gonna pay off $25,000 by my 25th birthday this September. And today I'm gonna pay off my first loan of $7,333.75. I thought I'd be sad to part way with this money, but honestly, I only feel relieved.
Literally, I have a sociology degree that I do not use because I can't afford to work in social services, so I work in tech. I pay $1,000 a month for student loans. Yeah, I have over $100,000 in student loan debt, which I didn't really understand. Graduating college, when I found out that number, my jaw dropped because I just signed a lease for an apartment, so I had to pay my apartment. I had to pay $1,000 a month.
Doug MPA back with another video. This is part 2 of my compilation of women drowning in student loan debt. I'm getting this from TikTok, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Excessive debt should disqualify a woman from serious relationship or marriage, guys. If a woman has too much student loan debt, credit card debt, she's recreational use only, because if you marry that woman, her debt is your debt. Okay, you should have a number in your head. I said in my previous video, for me, it's over 100,000, but some people said I should go less than that, but that's just my number. In the comment section, any stories about any women you know, your sister, your mom, a girlfriend, your ex-wife that had a bunch of student loan debt, put them in the comments. If I get enough comments on this one and the previous one, I'll do a live and I'll read the comments. But please share your experience, guys, because women own 70% of the student loan debt. 70%. Before I get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And let's get to case number 1.
Apparently, some people think that graduating with $250,000 in student loans, but a $190,000 salary means that you can easily repay that debt in 2 years. So let's talk about that.
$250,000 in student loan, guys. $250,000. Most law schools are between $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year for 3 years. $250,000. How's that even pot? Well, she's going to tell us. So let's keep going.
I completely recognize that I was privileged enough to graduate with the best case salary scenario, but even with that high salary profile, repaying your student loans is not a walk in the park. For the past 3.5 years, I put $2,000 every month and half of all my bonuses towards loan repayment. And guess how much I have left? $175,000. That's right. I'm not even halfway done.
$175,000, guys. You know that to raise a child from 0 to 18 in the United States will cost you $350,000 to $375,000. She almost has a child in student loan debt.
But it's true I could be done already. My classmate, who paid off her debt the fastest out of anyone I know, did it in 3 years. But at what cost? She lived off of way less than she ever had before in her life.
So, sorry to pause it again, but she said her friend who paid all of her debt off in 3 years, no new clothes, no vacations, no taxi Ubers, no investments. Like, Women will not go down in lifestyle for anything, guys. They have to reward themselves. They won't go down in lifestyle for a significant other. They won't go down for a lifetime for a family. They won't go down in lifestyle for children, and they won't go down in lifestyle for debt.
For life, while unfortunately working in an environment that really rewards lavish lifestyles and living. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to work those hellish hours as a junior associate and not want to buy yourself something nice every once in a while. Or apparently,
and not want to buy yourself something nice every once in a while or go on vacation. Not when you have $250,000 worth of debt. That's your first priority. Gosh, guys. And this is going to be hanging around her neck for the foreseeable future. She has $175,000 left. Yikes. Okay, let's look at case number 2.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm 24 years old and I have almost $60,000 of student loan debt. Here's how I'm planning to get out of it.
24 years old, $60,000, guys. Now, she doesn't say if she has a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, but you can get this much in debt with just a bachelor's degree. I've met people $120,000 in debt with just a bachelor's degree if you go to a private school or if you take out a bunch of private loans.
My exact student loan debt total is $56,042. $28,682 is in 2 private student loans and $27,360 is what I have in federal student loans.
Those private student loan guys, you got to watch out for those.
Both of my private student loans have variable interest rates and my federal student loans all have fixed interest rates, of course, but none of them are accruing interest right now because of the forbearance. Believe it or not, this really high debt total actually doesn't scare me that much because when I graduated, I had almost $70,000 in student loan debt. And in the first year after
She had $70,000, guys. $70,000. And it had to have been from just a bachelor's degree. Why would you go to school? She doesn't say what she got it in, but I guarantee you it's in the 5 that women always get theirs in. Criminal justice, sociology, psychology, social work, marketing. It's probably in one of those. And that's probably why she doesn't say it in this TikTok.
After graduating, I put around $15,000 towards these loans to pay them off. Of course, the math doesn't quite equal out because of interest costs that have accrued in the meantime still, but that was a lot of money for me to put on there in 1 year after graduating. And based on my income, I know that I can definitely pay all this debt off in a couple of years, so I'm not like super duper worried about it. But I am using the avalanche method and I have been doing that ever since I graduated. So I put surplus payments on the loan with the highest interest rate, which is one of my private student loans. And then once that loan is paid off, I'm going to take those surplus payments and redirect them to the next highest interest rate loan. And then
Okay. So it sounds like she's getting it done. Hopefully, she's 24 right now. Hopefully, she gets it done before 30. Because remember, she has from 25 till about 30, 31. Those are her before she hits that wall. And she's an attractive, a mildly attractive girl. But this debt can hinder her for being considered seriously to be a man's wife. But good job on her paying $15,000 already and using this avalanche method. Good job, young lady.
I'm just going to keep on doing that until all of my debt is paid off. Of course, we'll see what happens with federal student loan forgiveness. If that goes through, that'll of course help with my federal student loan debt. And if not, I'll just keep working to pay it off the same way I've done with the rest of my loans.
Okay, good job for this girl. I really hope it works out for her. I hope she doesn't get distracted by what the previous girl said. She starts taking vacations, enjoying life and all that stuff. I mean, she's young. She's 24, so she can grind out a couple of years. Maybe she can move back in with her parents if she hasn't done that already, but really focus on getting rid of these loans. Okay, let's look at case number 3.
I have $75,000 worth of student loan debt, and I'm not stressing. I don't
$75,000, guys. $75,000.
feel bad for having to take out that amount of money. Statistically, I understand why I had to take out that amount of money. Could I have paid for college in a different way? Yes. But I don't ever regret the college that I went to, the decisions I made while I was in college, or any of that. I don't regret anything about college, just how I paid for it. Do I wish that I was a little bit more tenacious and applied to more scholarships and all of those kind of things? Yes.
Or you could have went to a state school. There are plenty of states that have cheap state schools. Washington State, New Mexico, Wyoming, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. have cheap public schools, but you probably went to these private schools that cost a lot of money.
But I want people to be very fucking for real. I was the youngest of 6 children, and there was no other way for me to be able to afford school. And I'm super, super grateful for my parents. They put me on the Parent Plus loan, which a lot of people can't even qualify for.
So now her parents are on the hook for her loans. So if she defaults, they're coming for her parents. Good job.
Because they believed in me, they believed in my dreams, and they knew that this is what I needed to make it to the other side. So during this time where there's a lot of turmoil, we don't really know what's happening with student loans and the payoff. Some of us really only had 2 choices, and that was either no college or student loans. I want to remind any person who is like me, you did what you had to do. And from there, you have to keep it moving. Keep striving, keep doing the things that we have to do, because we had to make a hard decision.
Yeah, you had to make a hard decision, and now you're economically unattractive. Now you have to pay for the consequences because men were not putting up with this. Women have most of the student loan debt. And I honestly think that these women sign these promissory notes thinking, oh, yeah, either I'm going to become a millionaire, which most of them aren't, or I'm going to find a man later who's going to help me pay these loans off. It's either one of the two. And as far as I'm concerned, in 2023, neither of those is happening.
There is no shame in borrowing money because rich people do it all the fucking time. No.
Holy shit. You guys, did you hear that? There's no shame in borrowing money because rich people do it all the time.
No shame in borrowing money to create the life that you need to in the long run.
There's shame in borrowing money if you can't pay it back. That's the problem. There's shame in borrowing money when all you're banking on is for student loan forgiveness. It's a shame in borrowing money for getting some type of degree that's not going to make you any money. That is the problem. There's so many ways to navigate America's public university system without getting crushed by debt. And Black women are in the most student loan debt, bachelor's degree and master's degree. Economically unattractive. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Doug NPA back on another video. I have another compilation from TikTok of women who are stuck in a whole bunch of debt, student loan debt in particular. It is October of 2023, so the student loan debt payments are starting back up after 3 years. So you're going to see a lot of women on TikTok complaining about student loan debt. You're going to see articles in the news and articles in newspapers talking about how women are disproportionately affected by having to pay student loans. Women of color are disproportionately affected for having to pay student loans. They can't pay for their lifestyles. They can't pay for their families, blah, 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 blah. Before we get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me, what I'm doing over here. And like I say on every single debt video, guys, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship or marriage, guys. Don't take on a woman's debt. Don't do it. It's almost as bad as dating a woman with a child. Don't do it. So let's get into this first one.
So I studied international affairs, security policy, and China in college, basically.
Of course she did. The nose ring and the pink hair give that away.
And a big part of like international affairs is like continuously reading the news, knowing what's going on, and being able to extrapolate red flags from that, or like this indicates a decrease or an increase in XYZ. And so I stopped reading the news because it stressed me the fuck out. And recently I'm like, I'd like to have a comfortable life. I'd like to be able to take a vacation. I should probably work in my field. So
I wonder what she was doing if she wasn't working in her field. She doesn't say, but look at the nails, look at the pink hair. I wonder if she was a barista at Starbucks. What are some of the other jobs you see women looking like this working in? Maybe she was an art teacher at the school, at the elementary school, at middle school, teaching kids all about LGBT, HGTV. What do you think, guys?
So I started reading the news again, started reading foreign affairs again, so that I can know what I'm fucking talking about if I go into an interview. And oh my god, I am stressed as fuck again.
Of course she is. Look, the world's not a happy place. Us men, we know that. I'm trying to think the last time I read something in the news that stressed me out. If it doesn't affect my general vicinity, what am I stressing about it for? Jordan Peterson said it the best. Get your house in order first. Become successful first, guys, then worry about everything else around you. That's the best thing you can do to avoid stress coming from the news like she's talking about. Get your house in order.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, this world is on fire and we're just letting it burn. Oh my god, I hate this so much. I spent $120K to find out that I don't want to know this shit.
Boom, there it is. $120,000 on some international relation degree, of course. Case number 2, this one's from Australia, you guys. This student loan problem with women is everywhere. It's international. Let's hear this girl.
Do you know what really is pissing me off right now? My student fucking loan. Okay, so I moved to Australia from New Zealand 6 months ago, and I have, like, a big amount of money to pay, like, enough. My loan is the amount of money for 2 deposits on 2 houses.
I don't even want to guess how much that is. That has to be a lot. 2 deposits on 2 homes. Yikes.
I could have 2 houses right now. That's how big my loan is. And I have to pay that off now because interest is adding up. But also, for some reason, they give you 2 installments that you have to pay for the year. And I have to pay $1,200 bloody dollars at the end of this month. And I cannot fucking do that.
$1,200 a month, guys. That's actually on the low end. Maybe it's because she's from New Zealand and Australia. But guys, I know women that get $1,500 a month in just interest alone on their student loans. So, yes, you have to ask about this kind of stuff. Second, third date, especially when you get older. Because guys, look, a lot of despite what the red pill says, a lot of us guys, we're still gonna get married, and a lot of us guys will want to have kids. Now, I'm not married, I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't tell if you're accomplished, if you've gotten to a certain kind of income, $150,000 to $200,000 a year, where the stats say that you're more likely to stay married. Just make sure that you make an informed decision. Guys, we are cost benefit calculators, and men make decisions, and we're the ones who make these major decisions in life. But just make sure you have the right information, guys. Stay away from women like this.
So, I'm fucked. I really am fucked. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, and she's going to find a guy like you guys to help her pay off her student loans. Any takers?
And OnlyFriends help me bloody out.
Yeah. Watch out for her OF page, guys. Coming soon. So this case right here sums up modern women in college, guys. This girl went to Harvard Law School and got $250,000 in student loan debt instead of taking a full ride scholarship to NYU or Columbia. Guys, this is women. This is how women have 70% of the student loan debt. They go to these private schools like anyone cares. No one cares. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from 2 really good schools. You know how many people have asked me where I got my degrees from? Nobody. And now she has $250,000 in student loan hanging over her neck.
Do I regret taking on $250,000 of student loans in order to go to Harvard Law over my full rides at NYU and Columbia? No, I don't.
Of course she doesn't. Because because she's a woman.
But if I were most anyone else, I'd say take the money. When I was 22 and picking law schools, I was not emotionally prepared to start a career. I wanted to live abroad, I wanted to go dance in Ibiza or be a wedding planner. But because my parents looked down on gap years, I had to pick a law school, and Harvard was the only school that met all of my personal, not academic requirements.
And what's hard about it is, are her parents gonna help her pay back these loans? I hate when women try and say, oh, I was pressured by my family to go to this private institution. Your family's not gonna help you pay the loans back. This is crazy. And then she said that she went, she wanted to be a go-go dancer and all these different things. You know that this girl is going to work at some law firm until she's about 32, 33 years old. And then she's going to want out. A lot of women, doctors, lawyers, police officers, women that make it to the C-suite of companies, they get there and they want out because they don't want to deal with the stress. And law is, they call law the golden handcuffs. The golden handcuffs are jobs that are extremely stressful, but they give you a really good income and a really good lifestyle. So a lot of lawyers hate their jobs, but they don't want to quit because it makes them so much money. So they end up spending a bunch of money to compensate for the job they hate. And that's going to be this girl.
I wanted to live somewhere new. I knew that I wanted to work in New York after graduation, and Columbia and NYU didn't present a new place to explore. I wanted to have fun in law school and have time to make lifelong connections and not stress about grades all the time, and Harvard's lack of pluses and minuses really appealed to me. After college, I knew what stressing about the difference between A minuses and B pluses would do to me. You might think I'm stupid for taking out $250,000 in loans for these.
Yeah, we do. Because once again, she is disqualified, you guys. Disqualified. And I know you're thinking, oh, yeah, you know, all these presidents and politicians and stuff have Harvard Law School degrees. Yeah, for every one you know about, there are ones, there are plenty you don't. And like I said before, when she hits 35 and she wants to have a kid, she wants to scale her lifestyle back. She can be looking for a guy like you guys. Don't fall for this. Avoid women like this at all costs. And she's in her early 20s. She went to college, out of high school, so she's probably 23, 24. And she's going to be 25, 26 with $250,000 in student. And she's going to be a lawyer. You know, I might say, no, guys, avoid lawyers at all costs. All they will do is argue with you. They know the law. It's a long, miserable life dating a woman who's a lawyer. And the only thing worse than dating a woman who's a lawyer is dating a woman who's a lawyer that's $250,000 in debt, guys.
Personal reasons, but law school is 3 years of my life that I can't get back. For me, that's worth money.
I hope that she does a follow-up, guys. I hope she does. Especially like 8 years from now. I told you when she gets that mommy itch. I want to be married. I want to have kids, but, you know, I can't find a man. It's because you're a lawyer. You have a bad attitude. And you have a whole bunch of debt and no man wants to deal with you. And this is the type of girl that's going to say, I don't know why men are so intimidated by my Harvard Law School degree. And this last one is another example of how these women get into this debt and just can't get out. Look at this. Original loan, $80,000. Paid off, $110,000 to date. Still have $77,000 to go, guys. This is crazy.
I just saw this person's video. She's talking about her student loan experience and that she has discovered that for 10 years she's been paying off her student loans and she's paid a total of $120,000 and she still has $77,000 in student loan debt to pay. That's having multiple loans, probably having private loans, and making minimum payments so they don't go in default. And I guarantee you the girl's probably married and has her husband paying or has her parents paying. That's the only way to pay this amount. That's the only way. Pay off, and her original balance was like $79,000. Sadly, this is not a unique experience. 10 years ago to go to school, I took out 80 grand.
I have also been paying my loans off for the last 10 years and have paid a total of $110,000 to date. I only took out $80,000 to begin with, and I still have $77,000 to pay off.
Guys, avoid these women like the plague. I can't say it enough times. And you have to be able to have a conversation with the women that you're in, that you're dating, or that you have a relationship with about their debt. It's to the point where 8 times out of 10, guys, you are going to meet a woman who has more debt than you. 7 to 8 out of 10 of the women you meet will have more debt than you, guys.
I just had to refinance to try to get my loans in a better place, and the refinance fee is going to be about $35,000. All said and done, I'm going to pay about $250,000 in student loans, and I just don't know how this is possible and why more people aren't talking about this.
$250,000 she's going to end up paying off with an original loan of $77,000. No, $80,000. And guys, women are male college attendance is going down. Female college attendance is going up. So you have more and more women still believing in this. I'm going to go to college and my life is going to be so much better. No, it's not. Most of these women are going to get degrees in something no one cares about. And they're going to be stuck making $40,000, $50,000 a year with $100,000 in student loan debt. Guys, it is your responsibility to avoid women like this at all costs. Don't marry a woman with a bunch of debt. Don't marry a woman with a child. That is your responsibility in 2023, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Doug MPA back with another video. So this is part 4 of my women on TikTok complaining about the student loan debt series. You guys seem to really like these videos on my channel, so here's a couple more for you. And before we get into the compilation, some quick info. Women own 70% of the student loan debt and make 80% of the consumer decisions. The average woman with a graduate degree or higher is between $80,000 to $100,000 in student loan debt. And last but not least, like I always say, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship or marriage, guys. Do not marry a woman with a bunch of debt. Don't do it. And always have that conversation before you start getting serious. If she's upside down on her house, has a $1,000 car note, is $100,000 in student loan debt, you need to get out of there. Okay? So let's get into this first one.
Hey, my TikTokers. Right now, I want to talk about student loan debt. I'm going to be honest with you. I owe at least $350,000 in student loan.
$350,000, guys. And I guarantee you, she says, I have 3 master's degrees. What are the 5 that women always get, guys? I always say it on my channel. Psychology, sociology, social work, a criminal justice, is some kind of liberal arts degree. Come on now. She's cooked. $350,000. It costs $285,000 to raise a child from 0 to 18. She has a child in debt, guys.
And I did that to give my 3 young men privilege. Okay? All 3 of my children, my 3 sons, 25, set of twins, 23, all graduate from LSU on an academic scholarship. Okay? One makes more one makes more money than me, and one makes what I make. Okay, the other one is getting his master's on an academic scholarship. Okay, when I left Washington D.C., when it was the murder capital of the world, I lost so many friends that were males. I told myself that when I have young men, I'm going to give them back to the universe, because we lost some great men to the crack cocaine era.
Okay, but how is you being $350,000 in debt helping what you're talking about? You're $350,000 in debt. Come on.
I'm hoping that they don't see your debt and think that it's okay to just be in a whole bunch of debt.
But getting back to this $350,000 student loan, I ain't never paying it back. You understand?
At least she's honest. There's no way she's ever paying that back.
And I'm going to tell you why. Where my reparations, okay?
This is my first time watching this, guys. I saw the blonde hair and the piercings, and I was like, I'm not going to watch this. I'm going to do a live reaction. Where are my reparations? Guys, Doug in PA is black. I've been black on this planet for 42 years, and that makes me laugh. Let's all laugh along.
Where is the jobs? And when we get these jobs, where is the money? You know what bothers me? I lived in Washington, D.C. all of my life until 1994. And when I go to Washington, D.C. now, it's gentrifying, okay? I have no problem with gentrifying if they was giving property value to black people the way they was giving it to us when we were redlined. When I say us, my great-grandmother came from Georgia and moved to D.C. in 1920s, her and my great-grandfather. She purchased her house for $7,000. And in 1994, she passed, and we were still redlined, and she was only able to sell that house for $50,000.
You know, guys, I live in the D.C. area for 9 years. I just moved to the South like 3 months ago. Okay? Whoever she's talking about should have stayed, because you know that gentrification is going to happen. Just keep the house and stay. So I know plenty of people who were developers and all sorts of these young professionals. They sold their houses for profit. She sold at the wrong time. Look, housing. This is the free market. Okay. You win some, you lose some. I don't like what people try and say that there's some kind of design with the market to disadvantage certain people. Nope, it's the free market, lady. Sorry.
Now, when I look in the window of her home, her row house, with some upgrades, see two young white faces. And the property row house is worth $850,000. My great-grandmother lived in that house longer than anyone, from 1944 to 1994. So, with that being said, where's the income? Where is our income? I can't afford to pay back the student loans because I'm still trying to use the 3 master's degrees that you said pull us up our own bootstraps.
How did anything of what she said contribute to her signing the promissory notes on those student loans? This is basic financial literacy. And if you live in the United States of America, like you're exposed to enough to try to want to be financially responsible, and she wasn't it. I didn't hear anything she said that justified her being $350,000 in student loan debt. Did you guys? Let me know in the comments.
No, it's from systemic racism. They get rid of systemic racism. I'll help pay the $350,000 worth of loan. Goodbye.
There it is, guys. There it is. What do you say to that? And you know what's going to happen? She's going to not pay those loans. They're going to garnish her check. They're going to take her tax return. Yeah, so go ahead. Don't pay it. And she's talking about be an example for her children. Good parents pay their debts. How about that? Okay, case number 2. Now, I haven't seen this one either because, I mean, look at the look on her face. And it says student loan strike. I know this is going to be a good one, so let's go.
Fuck the U.S. Department of Education for...
She starts off just swinging haymakers, man.
Ever and always, and let me tell you why. if their failures as a system and them goddamn predatory loans weren't enough, these motherfuckers are committing fraud and getting away with it. They're getting away. I'm not paying them goddamn student loans back. However, even if you're not just like me, let me tell you why you should check on them. I'll say between last year of August and October, I got an email and a letter in the mail saying that my loans were being transferred and that there was nothing I needed to do. They're just letting me know. I don't trust the fucking government, so I'm making.
This girl, man. What is she in her like mid-20s with all this vitriol? And I hope she says how much she's in debt, because to be this angry, she has to be at least over 50,000. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I'm making sure I'm staying abreast, checking my credit, checking everything. One day, I check my credit karma, my credit score. This bitch has dropped 100 points. And when
I'm telling you, don't let your loans get into default, guys. Don't do it.
I say 100 points, I need you to know I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being funny. It was at least 100 points. It might have been 101, 111, something like that. The stupid fucking Department of Education transferred my loans, and in doing so originally all of my loans from this school showed up on my credit score as one loan, so that's one account. When they transferred them, they closed this one account and opened 8, one for each semester I had been there. Do you know how fucking crazy it looks on your credit score to suddenly close a young account, I should say, a young account, and open 8 new ones? You know how fucking crazy that looks? They dropped my shit 100 points. And then, obviously, I'm calling every credit bureau. I had my shit frozen. I'm like, these motherfuckers just committed fraud. They just opened.
No, she's lying, guys. I have a small amount of student loans left because my work, my day job, is paying them off, and my loans got transferred between two different student loans services, and that didn't happen to me. Not at all. Because just like the worst part about the recession in 2006 is a lot of big banks bought up a lot of smaller banks, and that's the same thing with a lot of loan servicers. A lot of the big ones bought up the loans from the smaller ones. So I guarantee you, almost everyone, I think everyone I know that has student loans, have theirs transferred from one to another, and I didn't see my credit score get hit at all.
Opened 7 accounts in my name. 7 accounts in my name. No consent, nothing. Every credit bureau, my bank, every motherfucker I talked to was like, yeah. Good luck. So then after stupid fucking Joe Biden does his, see look, the spit's angry. After stupid fucking Joe Biden does his little show, if we're gonna cancel student loan, knowing good and goddamn well they wasn't doing that shit. We all knew that. So I'm not even angry about that. I knew they weren't canceling them goddamn.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, I knew for a fact that was gonna happen either. And I knew too many people, once again, every other kind of debt rose when student loans were paused. And there are people just operating like, oh, I'm never going to have to pay him. Yeah, boy, were they wrong.
Student loans, it was just a show because that was what he campaigned on. He does that, and now I get an email that student loans are supposed to be due in October, whatever the fuck. But in addition, because these are 7 separate accounts, they expect me to pay per month. Or excuse me, 8. 8 separate accounts. They expect me to pay per month on each of these fucking loans. Now, here's what's really making me angry is I was lucky. I got hella scholarships. That's how I chose my school. So my loans are pretty minimal. But if that's not your story and you still ended up having to pay a lot out of pocket or whatever, or had to take out a large loans, you should still be able to get a fucking education. I was a straight A student all my life, worked hard because that was what I was told, that if you work hard, you'll get these scholarships, did that, and still am expected to pay 8 loans a month. These motherfuckers are stupid. And they're not getting a goddamn dime. Hey, not from me. The job I got as a college grad pays me $16.50 an hour. I couldn't afford to pay that shit if I wanted to, and I'm not.
So what do you think she got her degree in, guys? Social work, psychology, liberal arts. All that anger. The bottom line is
you have to sign up for these loans. A lot of people that are defrauded, that are victims of fraud, they don't get to sign on a line saying, I will pay this back. Okay? You did. That's the difference, young lady. Sorry. And case number 3. This is another one. PSA, student loan strike. Guys, this student loan strike thing is never going to be a thing. Okay? If these ladies think somehow they're just not going to pay the student loans back, and don't forget, student loans are the only debt that you can't get rid of in bankruptcy. So the only way out of this mess is to not put yourself in it in the first place. Ladies, if you go to state schools, get a degree in something that's going to make you money, because us guys, we are not standing for it. Guys have less debt than women. And the only people I see doing this student loan strike thing are women. Let's see what this girl has to say.
Okay, the actors are striking and the writers are striking, but what about the girls who owe student loan payments starting this fall? Okay, hear me out.
That little mouth smack thing, I can't stand it, guys.
I feel like if we all band together, you know what I'm saying, and collectively agree that we're not paying them back, I just think are you picking up what I'm putting down? Look.
These women, man. I say go for it. Yes, we are picking up what you're putting down. You know what? You should update us 8, 9, 10, 12 months from now, 2 years from now, on how that's going for you.
Look, your credit score, yes, it's going to take a hit at first. But all of our credit scores can't suffer. Why? Because that's bad for the, say with me kids, economy. Okay? That's when the government has no choice but to just make the student loans disappear.
This girl's out of her mind, man. Student loan debt has turned into such a big business that ain't ever happening, man. There's a whole $1 billion industry on student loans, maintaining them, interest, student loan servicers. Come on, man. That ain't ever happening.
Just make them disappear. What the Supreme Court gonna do? Huh? Supreme Court want to be big and bad. What they gonna do then, huh? Okay.
Guys, this is the type of woman that you need to avoid. Because for you to go on social media with this amount of vitriol, like the last girl, and anger, they have to be so deep in debt. And once again, guys, this is not your problem. You have to have these conversations with these women, and she may be pretty, she may take off all the boxes, but if she has a bunch of debt, like a woman's debt is a reflection of her decision-making process, guys. Avoid these women with a bunch of debt. I implore you. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Doug in PA back with another video. I have another compilation of women complaining about the student loan debt and saying how they're not going to pay it back. I really like doing these compilations. You guys really like them too, because I get a lot of traction on my channel with these. So we're going to look at a couple more cases of women and their debt. Before I do that, I have to give my disclaimer like I do on every single women and their debt video. Guys, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationships or marriage, guys. A woman's debt is a reflection of her decision-making processes, and if you marry a woman with a lot of debt, it'll become your debt. Don't deal with excessive student loan debt, car notes, women who are upside down on their mortgages. Guys, don't do it, and make sure to have the conversation before you get serious with a woman. Don't be afraid to ask her, how much debt do you have? How much student loan debt do you have? You have to know these things. You have to. And if you get over a certain age, I'd say maybe 35 or 40, most women you date are going to have more debt than you guys and have a lower net worth. So just take that into consideration out here in the modern dating market, guys. So anyway, but let's look at
this compilation. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. Let's get into this first one.
Hi. I want to tell you about my student loans because I feel like it's very relevant in this situation. I haven't paid my student loans in a couple of years, I believe. And the reason I stopped paying is because I simply had no money to.
So I'm too broke to pay my student loans. A couple of years, guys, interest accrues. Odds are they've been trying to call her. So they bother her a couple times a day, I'll bet. They're going to start garnishing her wages if she even has a job. This is crazy.
It was either rent, food, cat food for my pets, medications, or pay my student loans. They were asking like $250 to $300 a month, and I had to make a choice. I wasn't going to be homeless paying my student loans off.
$250 to $300 a month, that's it? I've done stories on my channel where doctors and lawyers are making $1,500, $2,000 a month payments, and she can't make a $200 a month student loan payment, guys. Ugh.
So I stopped paying them, but I still kept in contact. I still kept communicating with them and explaining to them my situation. And they listened, and they were really nice and really friendly. But they talked about how much I could pay back. And eventually we agreed on a number. And I remember it was something like maybe like $100 or something. I remember telling them I had so much money for rent and I could not spend like $500 repaying my loan. I could not do it.
Okay. While she's talking, her hair is like a greenish color, right? And she has her lip pierced here. What kind of degree do you think she got, guys? Put in the comments. Because I'm going to name the 5 like I always do. Psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, and then some kind of studies degree. So like gender studies, Asian studies, African American studies. And that's why she doesn't have enough money to make a $200 a month student loan payment. Honorable mention, education. She's probably at school teaching your kids, guys. I wouldn't be surprised.
So they told me, okay, we'll take this small amount, then we won't charge you for like 3 months, or we'll charge you a small percentage, or I don't remember. I was on the verge of crying. In fact, I think I did cry several times to Sally Mae. I got very emotional. Anyway, so we agree. I give them my banking information, and then a couple days later, they take the whole amount. They took just enough to leave me like I think $30 left in my account, so I didn't overdraft. But they took all of it. So I had to call to the bank. I had to dispute the charge, which cost $60. But I got my money back and everything was okay. And then I called them to talk what was going on. And the guy I got on the phone with was very rude, very condescending. He laughed at me. He actually laughed at me when
I'm laughing at you right now. Because you're worried about a $60 finance charge. She looks like she's in her 30s, and she's worried about a $60 finance charge, a $250 a month student loan payment. You took these loans out. Why is your income so low? How much money do you spend on food each month? Cut that in half, and you'll probably have money for the student loan payment. I can't stand stories like this. And she's going to live her whole life struggling like this, guys. And she's going to want you to come in and save her. Or maybe not guys with his haircut. She might be on the other team. But anyway, God, just listen to this woman talk, guys. This could be your problem.
And I told him about how I couldn't afford my student loans, how I didn't have any money. He laughed at me and told me I was irresponsible. And I told him I was done with the conversation.
You are irresponsible. This whole situation shows that she has bad decision-making processes. And women like this should be avoided at all costs.
I said, I don't think we're going to get anywhere, so I hung up. Then they started harassing me. They called me at work which was super embarrassing. They started harassing me and sending me letters, all sorts of threats. And I ignored all of them because, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have no money. It's not like I'm hiding money that I'm not giving them. I had no money. And after a while, they just stopped. I don't know. It's because they're not allowed to harass me. They're not allowed to call me at work. They crossed a line, but they stopped.
Now they're going to garnish your wages. And now they're going to take your tax return. Just wait. I'm going to try to follow up on this girl's channel, at the beginning of the year next year. And don't be surprised if she doesn't have a video saying, the Department of Education took my tax return. They're going to get their money, lady. They're going to get it.
My credit score is not great. I think it's like 630 or something.
I mean, this is what a 630 credit score looks like, right, guys? If you were to look up a 630 credit score in the dictionary, the definition of a 630 credit score in the dictionary, this would be it, right, guys?
I'm not sure. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But yeah, that's what happened to me. And I hope that helps.
I don't feel bad for this woman, guys. I just don't. Get a second job. I hope this isn't her kid's room. It looks like it. Women like this have to be avoided at all costs, guys. These women are looking to be saved, and don't let it be you. Case number 2. Let's get into this one, guys.
I'm not paying back my student loans. And it's probably not like in the context of what you're thinking.
Oh, really? Let's see what she's talking about.
Do I think that student loans need to be forgiven? Absolutely. Do I think that education should be free? 110%. The reason why I am not even paying any attention to the student loan repayment bullshit is because I am so burned out. Like, I don't care to spend that energy going through my emails and figuring all that shit out.
Guys, I don't have enough care to dig through my emails, organize my life, and pay my bills. Guys, there it is, right there. What else do you have to say? It's too much work for me to pay my bills back. It's just too much work. I don't want to do it. These are the type of women that are out there, guys. I'm just going to ignore it until it goes away. Like I said on the first one, they're going to get their money, ladies. You just wait till your tax return season comes, or wait till they start garnishing your paycheck.
Oh, but they're going to garnish your wages. They say, what wages? What wages are we going to be garnishing? Go ahead and garnish them. You do all of the work to figure out all the things, and let me know what you're taking out. Like, what wages?
Who wants to guess what kind of degree she has? It has to be one of the big 5 if she's talking about that. She looks like she has some kind of gender studies degree with those glasses, right?
Doesn't matter.
There you go. That's what it boils down to. It's too much work for her to pay her bills back and contact anybody. Because here's the thing. A lot of lending institutions are willing to work with you if you make an effort to reach out with them. But apparently, she can't be bothered. Okay, and this last one, it has to be a joke, guys. But I'm not quite sure because I don't know if you guys have seen the time blindness girl on TikTok where she says that she can't be on time to things because she has time blindness and she expects businesses and organizations to accommodate her time blindness. So I'm thinking this is a joke. I'm not sure, but let's get into what this woman has to say.
I will not be paying back my student loans because it is against my religion.
What a good start.
In the Bible, it says that debt should be canceled every 7 years.
Sorry, I keep stopping it, but this is hilarious.
And I took out my student loans over 7 years ago. And I think that the fact that our Supreme Court does not want to forgive our student loans it shows that they actually don't care about Christian values. And
Oh, really? Is that it? You know what? I've only read the Bible once or twice, but I don't remember catching any of that in the Old or New Testament. Am I wrong, guys? Let me know in the comments.
we need to get back to being a Christian country. That's what our founding fathers wanted. Now, I know they mentioned freedom of religion, but listen, they actually were just all Christians.
So separation of church and state means you're going to have to pay your student loans off, young lady.
Anyway, I will not be paying them back because our country's fallen away from the Lord enough, and I don't want to be a part of that. When the Lord comes back, I want to make sure that I'm going to heaven. I'm not going to hell. So I'm not going to be paying back my student loans because that's sinful.
This has to be a joke, guys. And the fact that she can say this whole thing with a straight face, bravo, lady, bravo, because I wouldn't have been able to make it through. Paying back student loans is against my religion.
And I don't want to contribute to the sins of this country.
There you go. Hey, you know what? You do you, lady. But once again, like I said on the other three, when they garnish your wages and take your tax return, you're not going to have any money left to put in the collection plate on church on Sundays. They're going to take all your tithe money. It's going to go right to the Department of Education. Guys, let me know what you think about this compilation. Once again, avoid women in a lot of debt, guys. Men, we're not playing the college scam anymore. More and more men are avoiding college, going to trade school, trying to make it without going into a bunch of student loan debt. And let me tell you, a plumber making $45,000 a year is worth more than a lawyer making $150,000 a year. That's $200,000 in student loan debt. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Doug MPA back with another video, guys. I got another compilation for you of women that regret their student loans. Now the new thing is, I'm not paying my student loans back. They ain't getting a red cent from me. I ain't paying nothing. And I don't think these people understand what'll happen if you just try to forget your student loans. You know, I might do a compilation of all the people on TikTok warning people that they need to pay their student loans off because there can be disastrous consequences to not paying your student loans off. I might have to look into that. So anyway, another compilation. Before we get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Show you support me at what I'm doing over here. You guys really seem to like these student loan debt compilations. I'm going to keep them coming as long as you keep watching. So let's get into this first one, shall we? Let's go.
I already wasn't planning on paying the student loans. I'm going to just give it to you straight right here. I was never planning on giving it back from the moment that I signed up for it.
From the moment she signed up for it. And she looks young, too. This is the pathology that most women, they sign, because remember, women own 70% of the student loan debt and own significantly more per individual than men do. And women have to sign these notes saying, I'm just not going to pay it back. It has to be. Or they think that they're going to find some sucker to marry them and help them pay it off. Those are the only two reasons I can think of. What about you guys?
I'm triple not paying it now. I'm triple not paying it now. Are y'all fucking crazy? Mind you, I'm not even supposed to be on this app. I quit this app, but I'm back now because shit has gotten out of hand. You're taking money out of people's checks to fund a schminicide? A schminicide? And you want me to take money from mine own life, from thine own life?
So that's a new thing too. You see these women saying, whoa, they're, the thing going on in the Middle East right now. Oh, they can pay for that, but we have to pay for our student loans. They're always trying to find a way out of this, guys. Always.
To fund a schminicide? When we got homeless people in tent cities. Think of the darkness and depravity of that phrase. Cities of tents. And you want to send the tent city money over to the funding the schminicide? Kiss my ass.
What's that have to do with her paying off her student loan, guys? What's it have to do with any of it? Nothing.
Not fucking doing it, okay? We could, I did the numbers. We could solve some hunger. We could feed some babies over here. We could have some social services. I look like a single mom who works too hard.
Of course, she's a single mom. Guys, come on now. Look at this. Orange hair, overweight. Of course.
But anyway, yeah, we could do all kinds of shit. Free wigs, free nails, free daycare, all of that. But y'all want to send our money over there to fund dropping schmoms on people. Y'all can eat my dick. I was never paying it, but I'm double not paying it now. I might try to figure out how to rob y'all. Kiss my ass.
This is modern women. This is why men make better financial decisions. This is why, guys, you have to find a woman who's financially responsible. You have to. Don't date single mothers. I say on my channel, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship and marriage. And it's because of women like this, guys. So, case number 2. I know that this lady said that she has like $380,000 in student loan debt because I think she just got through with medical school. So let's see what's going on with this girl.
I'm going to tell you why I haven't paid any of my student loans while I self-tan. Okay, first of all, I saw this hack on TikTok where you just put it on medical gloves. So I ordered some for myself, and that's how we're going to self-tan today. So anyways, when I graduated residency, COVID had just started, so they put a pause on the student loans. Well, it started in 2020, but I graduated in 2021 and the loans were still paused. And so I didn't really have any money. So obviously I'm not gonna start paying them back. I need to save up, all that. And mind you, before this pause, my loans were literally gaining $11K in interest a semester.
$11K in interest per semester. So that's at least $22,000 a year in just interest, you guys. Holy mess. Yikes. And that tells you how much she has in student loans. It gives you a short little preview.
So I would have graduated with over like 40K more loans if COVID didn't happen. The student loans are still paused. My interest is still paused. So I'm not paying yet until that starts back up this summer. So yeah, I still owe $380,000.
$380,000, you guys. How is this possible? And what are you going to do with a woman like this? I said it on my previous student loan debt videos. I'm going to bring up the scenario again. And guys, put in the comments what would happen. Let's say you meet a woman. She's attractive, and you take her out on a couple of dates. Things are going well. And then you ask her about her debt. And she says she has $380,000 in student loan debt. What would you guys do? So I say, pay the bill and leave. You can't do anything with this. It costs $280,000 to raise a child from 0 to 18 in the United States. She literally has a kid in student loan debt right now. No, avoid these women at all costs, guys. At all costs. Please, you owe it to yourself. Do not take on a woman like this as debt. Don't do it. And our third and final case for the day. This is going to be a good one because look at this septum piercing, guys. Women don't understand how unattractive that septum piercing is. It's disgusting. So we know this is going to be a good one. Let's go.
And let me tell you right now, when it comes to those student loans, I ain't paying nothing. Not a quarter, dime, nickel, penny, cent will be spent. I promise you right now. You better figure that out.
I can't wait in a couple years when all these women who just ignore the student loans come back and say, I should have never ignored my student loans. Now, my credit rating's bad. They're garnishing my check. The interest is out of control. If you work for the federal government or you're in the military, I think it can affect your career, I think. But I can't wait. Give it like 2-3 years and you're going to see all that come out.
You better figure that out. I ain't got no student loans. I ain't got no student loans. That's not here. No, I ain't paying nothing back. I ain't paying nothing. That was the deal, remember? I don't got student loans. No. No. I don't have no loans. No, nothing.
If you think you getting any of my money and it's going to student loans?
What are you supposed to do with women like this, guys? What are you supposed to do? Nothing. I said it on the last one. Avoid these women at all costs, because this type of irresponsible behavior, it bleeds into other parts of their lives and other behaviors, not just paying off their debt. Women like this, you can't tell them anything. They don't want structure. They don't have goals. None of it. And they'll make all that your problem, guys. Avoid these women at all costs.
The government should be paying me at this point for traumatizing me with false hope. I have PTSD. I'm not giving you a single cent.
He has PTSD, guys. Oh man, I love these. And I'm telling you, this is the gift that keeps on giving, because I could probably lay down 3 or 4 more of these, but I'm trying to space them out. But guys, this is all over Instagram, all over TikTok, and it's nothing but women. You may see a couple of guys on here, but this is all women who want to gather together and create a movement against student loan debt. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
And I just think I was gonna go back to school with what? You ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing from me now. You ain't getting nothing. Nope. No, ma'am.
Yes. Avoid these women at all costs. Avoid them. All 3 of these women are all they are just liabilities. That's it. That you can't afford to have in your life. Have the conversation about a woman's debt before you get serious, guys. And like I've said on previous videos, by the time you get to a certain age, if you're a single successful man, I'm gonna say 35. I'm just putting the number out there. Most of the women you meet will have children and will have more debt than you. So you need to vet these women, ask questions, have those serious conversations up front, and make sure you are aware of what is your problem and what's not your problem. Because modern women are all about making their problems your problems, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Doug MPA back with another video. Guys, another compilation of women who regret their student loan debt. And like I say on all the rest of my student loan videos, guys, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship or marriage. Do not marry a woman with a lot of debt. Her debt shows you her decision-making processes, and if she's not good with her money, she's not going to be good with yours either. Okay? Before we get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And as long as you guys watch these, I'm going to keep making them. Let's get into this first one. Before we get into this, so I got this off of this girl's reaction TikTok channel, the girl on the left, and she's brushing her teeth while she's reacting. Well, I guess you can call it reacting because she doesn't really say anything, but she's brushing her teeth and spitting it out. It's kind of nasty. So pardon that, but the girl on the right is who we're going to pay attention to. So let's get into it.
I, 30 male, am considering ending my relationship with my partner, 26 female, due to her being $250,000 in debt. I am a
$250,000 in student loan debt, guys. $250,000.
Year-old male, and I have a well-paying job, roughly $100,000 per year, and no debt. My girlfriend has $250,000 in private student loans from undergraduate private school.
And they're private loans too, guys. Oh no, this gets worse and worse.
With a variable interest rate. Recently, the interest hit over 11%.
11%? She's cooked. I think my student loans were at like 5% or 6%. She's almost double that. She's cooked.
And doing the math on the loans has me devastated. Okay, before we even read on further, I am one of those people who I'm okay with you breaking up over debt, because you're not just marrying the person, you're marrying all that crap too.
Well, look, a based woman. And I guess she's agreeing with her. So 2 based women. Guys, don't marry a woman with a whole bunch of debt. Break up with her. Have that conversation before you get serious. Especially, guys, if you get to your mid-30s, most women you meet are going to have children, and most of them are going to be in more debt than you and have children. So even if whether they have children or not, they're going to have more debt than you. It's just how it is.
So that her debt becomes your debt. With how fast it is growing, she will need to put $25,000 a year into it just to keep it in the same place.
She has to pay $25,000 a year just for it to. Oh my God. At least he had this conversation with her and he's dodging a bullet.
That basically guarantees that I will never have financial help during our relationship. Additionally, with how much she will need to work just to pay the loans, I won't have much help around the house or with our kids if and when we have some either. I keep blaming myself that I can't just deal with it. It's just money, right? But at the same time, when I look at the reality of the situation, I can't help but feel I need to walk away from this situation. Number one cause of divorce is financial problems.
That's true. Number one is financial problems, and number two is irreconcilable differences. But number one is finances.
Putting it out there. Additionally, she's going back to school in the fall for a higher paying job, probably 60 to 85K income at the end realistically, with the possibility of 125K a year if she works herself to death.
And they want to have a family. So that's not happening. No way.
But this program will add another 30K in federal loans.
Ooh, so she's going to be 280,000? Yikes. See, and women just run back to school, one, to put their loans back into deference because deference. Because you don't have to pay student loans while you're in school. So you have women who are just perpetual students because if they ever leave school, they're going to have to pay their hundreds. They're going to have to start paying on their hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. But like she's going to put herself $30,000 more in debt to get a higher paying job with a salary of 60 to 85K. So what's she making right now? Probably 50 or 40? God, women, man. Ugh.
I think this is a bad decision, but it's also the only option she seems to have to up her income. A lot of jobs, that if you get a full-time job with a good company, they'll pay for you for your extended education. I hope a lot of people know that. Like, they will, a good sized company will pay you to get higher education. You don't have to go do it yourself and then get another job. I feel like I don't want to wait until I'm 45 when this debt might be paid off to have children. I don't want to put my life on hold in this way, but I also love her a lot. We've talked a lot about this and about her plan to pay it down, etc. It now feels like my options are either accept that this is reality and it will be many years before she's free of this debt, or end the relationship.
That is the reality. In the relationship, run far away. He's probably thinking, oh, she's so special. She has something that I can't find in any other woman. And guys, how many women have you thought that about? And then, when she leaves or she's on her way out the door, you figure out she's just like every other woman. He's going to have to help her pay this off. And even if he helps her pay this off and puts off what he wants in life to help her pay it off, let's say he helps her pay it off. Is she going to stick around after the debt's paid off? Probably not. Run, guy. Run far away. Okay, case number 2, guys. So this lady has been paying off her student loans for 10 years and hasn't gotten anywhere. So let's see if we can follow along with the math. Pay close attention, guys, okay? Let's go.
I just checked my student loans because I needed to get the information to someone, and what the fuck? I started with 80,000.
Okay, she started off with 80,000, okay?
I have been paying for 10 years.
Okay, she's been paying for 10 years. You guys following along?
Last year, I paid 6,000 lump sum because that's really the only way to get it low.
Okay, and then she dropped $6,000, 6 large.
That took it down to 76,000 after I've been paying for 9 years. The grand total is I have paid $120,000 and I still owe 76.
So after 10 years, $120,000, she still owes 76,000 of 80,000. Guys, this is modern women right here. I guarantee you all of her loans are private, and she probably has a degree in some BS nobody cares about. But hey, sign up, guys. Step up. Step up to the plate. Swoop in and save this woman. Because that's what she's going to be looking for.
a guy like you to help her pay off her student loans. And the sad part about it is let's say you help her pay her student loans off. Are you even going to be at that finish line? Probably not. Probably not.
How the fuck is this possible? What?
The question is, who wants to deal with this? Guys, this is what's out here. This. And more women are signing up for college when college is the most expensive it's ever been. Guys, we are saying no more. We are not participating in this. You have more guys becoming tradesmen, driving truck, or, just staying at home. Guys, don't buy into this. And you have to have these conversations up front. And the last one for today, this one's a quick one, but you're going to see why I chose this one in a second. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm a stupid millennial who has college debt from not only 1 degree, but 2. I put that one in a bigger frame because it cost me more money. And to top it all off, both of my degrees are in social work.
Ha! In social work, guys. What are the 5? I always talk about that. Women get the high price degrees that aren't going to make them any money. Psychology, sociology, social work, some kind of criminal justice, and some kind of studies degree. So gender studies, African American studies, Asian studies, all that stuff. She got one of the 5. She got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in social work. So she probably has about $100,000 to $120,000 in student loan debt, and the most she's gonna make is about $52,000 to $53,000 a year, and that's why she made this TikTok right here.
Yikes. Stupid millennial.
At least she's aware. And like I said on the other one, the previous one, her only way out of this is you, guys. Don't be her way out. She seems like she's tall. She ain't ugly. She's probably like a 5, could be a 6. She's thin. But no matter what she looks like, here, these 2 pieces of paper make her look ugly. That's how you have to see it, guys. Don't ever marry into a bunch of debt or start paying a woman's debt. I can't say it enough times, okay? Let me know what you think about these in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Doug MPA back with another compilation from the trash fire we know as TikTok. This is going to be another compilation of women who regret their student loan debt. This is part 8. I'm going to keep making these as long as you guys keep watching them. And like I say on every single student loan debt video, guys, you got to avoid economically unattractive women. Okay? Women own 70% of the student loan debt. Guys, a woman's debt should be a disqualifier for consideration for serious relationship or marriage, guys. Don't marry a woman with a bunch of debt. Don't do it. So before we get into this compilation, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. In this first case, this girl is going to nursing school at this private college in California called West Coast University. She's getting her nursing degree. It's a private for-profit school, and I checked before I started this video, and a nursing degree there will cost you, if you start from freshman year and go all the way, it'll cost you $145,000 to get a Bachelor of Science in Nursing from West Coast University in California. It's crazy. So let's see what this girl has to say about her debt. Let's go.
Getting a lot of questions in regards to exactly how much I'm in debt from going to West Coast. My name is Victoria. I'm an aesthetic nurse injector here in Southern California. I did go to West Coast University and graduated back in 2021. $100,000 includes interest. It includes my federal loans and the private loans that I had to take out.
So she's $100,000 in student loan debt for a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, guys. $100,000.
And she looks like what? In her mid-20s? Economically unattractive, guys. What are you supposed to do with this? And this is going to be a weight around her neck, because nurses, they make good money, but not a lot of money. Remember, guys, a lot of female dominated careers are front loaded on pay. So teachers, which is predominantly women, make more than the average person does out of college. Nurses do, but their income usually caps out at just below 100,000, maybe 80, 90,000, right around 35. And that's when male dominated careers meet and surpass female dominated careers. She's gonna have this debt the rest of her life, guys.
I did receive a Cal grant, but it wasn't nearly enough to make much of a
and she said private loans and federal loans
dent in my tuition or anything. And there were 2 courses that I was required to take before my nursing core at West Coast University, because it was West Coast University specific. So there was that. It is a lot of money, and it's really depressing to think about. But at the end of the day, I'm really happy I have my nursing license. I'm always going to have financial stability in order to pay off those loans. And I have a career that I can basically go anywhere with.
That's the modern woman mindset. Okay, financial stability, what does that mean? You're going to have income, but you're going to have is having a bunch of debt to get this income, financial stability. And you know what? Nursing used to be a nurturing, softer kind of industry, but in the last 20 years or 30 years, the amount of medical school spaces have not increased, so there haven't been enough doctors to meet the new demand. So there's more responsibilities placed on nurses. A lot of nurses are masculine. They work long hours. They get burned out. That's why and they don't make enough money for how much work they do, which is why you see all these signs. Oh, nurses are heroes. They have to give you praise because they're not paying you enough money. So is she getting financial stability? And she can work anywhere, but she's going to carry her debt along with her the whole time. Guys,
There are so many different avenues and routes you can take with a nursing degree. So don't let the tuition discourage you. Yes, there are many other options and routes that you can take in order to get your nursing license. That's a lot cheaper. So don't let that discourage you from.
Don't let that discourage you, guys. She's over $100,000 student loan debt for a nursing degree from a for-profit private college, but don't let that discourage you. And this is honestly what women are thinking when they go into these degree programs and sign these promissory notes to get into all this debt. We just saw it right here, guys. She's recommending women do the same thing she did. Guys, avoid getting in a bunch of debt. Avoid going to these private schools. Only get degrees in something that'll make you money, guys. Case number 2. Let's see what's going on with this woman. Red flags, big glasses, blue hair. Let's go.
Hey, good friends. Let's do some student loan math, okay? You ready? Go get your paper. Go get your pen. Get your other phone. Whatever it is that you're about to use, we're going to do these calculations. Now, back in 2005, I borrowed $26,000, baby.
And okay, let's try and guess what she got a degree in. Now I'm going to say my 6 and put in the comments what you think. I hope she says it, but if not, let's make a guess. I'm going to say my 6. Psychology, sociology, criminal justice, some kind of studies degree, so gender studies, African American studies, social work, and number 6, communications. I guarantee you she paid that amount of money for one of those degrees back in 2012.
And it paid for 4 years of school. So I borrowed once. It carried me through 4 years. All right. You got the principle? Cool. That's the principle. Now, over the years, I've been paying on this loan since 2012. For the last so many years, I've been paying consistently more than $400, or at least $400. Let's say I've been making those type of payments since 2019. So This year, I'm up to $786 and like change a month for just this one student loan. Now, if you have been making consistent payments for what basically amounts to 10 years, what do you owe on the loan? Well, here's what I can tell you. I owed what? I borrowed 26. I have made over $38,000 in payment. Now, in the comments, tell me how much I owe. I'll come back with a part 2.
There is no part 2 yet. I'll have to keep track of her TikTok account and see how much she actually owes. But guys, she probably went most of the time paying minimum payments, or maybe she stopped paying on them at all. Maybe she's paying $100 a month. I don't know. But 10 years, still not paid off, guys. Still not paid off. And I don't feel bad for these people at all. None. No sympathy here, guys. No way. Nope. Okay, so our last case today, we're going to see what's going on with this woman. Let's go.
I literally want to vomit right now. I'm having chest pain because I just paid $5,000 on my student loans, just like that. Anyway, so last time I did an Instagram Q&A, I got a ton of questions on loan refinancing and what that is. So I just wanted to hop on here and talk about it a little because I think it's one of those things a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of new grads don't know about, and it is super important and very helpful. So I graduated 3 years. I went to private school. I graduated with $150K in student loans.
$150,000, guys. Oh my goodness. What are you supposed to, I keep saying this in all my student loan debt videos. What are you supposed to do with this, guys? When you reach a certain age, I have to do some research, but for the sake of this exercise, I'll say 30. Most women you're going to meet are going to have more student loan debt than you, are going to have more debt than you guys. So you have to have these conversations. Don't get to know a girl, fall in love, and then find out how much debt she has and decide to try to make a life with her anyway, guys. Don't do it.
$120K in private, 30 in federal.
$120,000 in private loans, guys. Yikes.
And when I graduated, I had a disgustingly high interest rate. We're talking like 13, 14%, which is
14% on student loans. That's why you don't get private loans, guys. She's cooked. Done.
Very high, if you didn't know. I found out about loan refinancing, and basically I used the company SoFi. This is not a sponsorship or an ad or anything. I'm literally just telling you what I did. And with a super easy application process, I got down from like 14% to 4%.
14% to 4%. And so let me talk to you guys about this whole SoFi refinancing thing. Any student loan forgiveness or help is going to come from the federal government, and it has to be with federal loans. Now, most of hers was private already, so she moved from one private lender to another. But guys, if you have federal loans, watch out going through SoFi, because you will be. It turns your public loans to private loans, and you won't get any kind of assistance or forgiveness from the government. So be careful.
Which in the long run saves a ton of money, like thousands of dollars. And I put myself on a 5-year repayment plan. I still live at home. I don't pay rent. So for that reason, I was able to be super aggressive about how much money I pay per month.
Okay, I gotta give her credit on that. She moved home. She probably has a full-time job. Who knows what in? But, you know, she's putting all of her money towards paying off her student loan debt. Okay. Look at this.
Last year when I was working 3 jobs for a while, I was making extra payments as well. Kind of got lazy with the extra payments this year, especially since I was traveling a lot in the beginning of the year and I stopped working those 3 jobs. However, recently, between like my job, overtime, and some of the money I make with content creation, I was able to put a big chunk just now. That big chunk will get me down finally under the 40K mark, so I'm at about 38K left of my private loans. Refinancing, getting that interest rate down and getting yourself on a payment plan is so easy, so helpful, and it'll save you thousands of dollars. And also, doesn't matter if you're not aggressive with it, if you refinance and get that interest rate down and you put yourself on a payment plan, that anxiety of just knowing like by this year I'll be done.
Or you can go to a state school, or you can not sign for private loans with a high interest rate in the first place. Guys, don't ever get it twisted. You have to sign promissory notes to get this debt out. So for women to say, I didn't know what I was signing. Yes, you did. You signed on the dotted line. I think with these student loans, no one forces you to get these student loans, guys. And there are other ways to make money. That's why guys are not going to school anymore, because we are cost benefit calculators. And a lot of times the benefit of going to college is not worth the cost. And here's the thing. She's working 3 jobs, content creation. She has to be single, because how's she going to fit a man into her life? She's headed towards being early 30s. She's finally done with this and having to scramble to find a man. Watch.
Like that just like makes it so much better. You set up automatic payments and you just don't even have to worry about it. So once you graduate, once you get a job and you know what your like annual income will be, you can do a quick and easy application process. I'm sure there's a ton of companies. I just use SoFi. That's the one I used. And you can save yourself thousands of dollars and kind of just like limit your anxiety a little bit about how long it's going to take and the interest that you'll accrue and all of that. But yeah, the heart is racing right now because $5,000 is a lot of money. But I'll be done soon and then it'll be worth it.
And she did it to herself. Guys, no sympathy for these women. And you have to do your due diligence, because one of the modern women's pathologies and methodologies is to make their problems your problems, guys, including their debt, their kids, their mortgages, their past trauma, all that. Guys, don't do it. Avoid them like the plague. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.